Hi, everybody. My wife tells me I should start showing other people some things that I work on. I've never done this before, so thought it would be cool to, just start working on some projects that I've been meaning to do and I haven't been able to for a while. So um, I've had this for a couple of weeks now. I've been meaning to actually do something with it, and I haven't. But I figured now since, I've got a microscope and I can kind of show people things that I'm working on without just describing it, that it would be kind of cool to be able to do that. So the first project, I guess, that I'm going to live stream is, it's a Sega Saturn to Neo Geo adapter. So I've got this old Sega Saturn controller, and it's got a interesting connector on it. And what I'm wanting to do is convert it over to this style connection. And there's a project that I've been kind of following, I guess, online, and it's by this guy, Arthremus, I guess. So he has designed this Sega Saturn to DB15 adapter. I guess it uses an Atmel chip, like it can be programmed like an Arduino. So I've got the boards for that, and I actually ordered the wrong board. This one is this is actually the newer one, but I originally ordered this particular board. So they're a little bit different revision. It's got a few different spots on it, so I had to go and get the newest revision, which is this one. So I sent off for it, and I got it in, and kind of got all the parts while I've been kind of waiting in this coronavirus situation that we have going on. So what I needed was I had to get a Sega Saturn extension right here, and so I just took the plug off of it so that I can use it on the board. So it just kind of slots in like this, where you can just solder the piece in. So anyway, I've got all the pieces. I'm going to go ahead and get my microscope set up over here. So we can start showing how I'm going to put it together. Let's see here. Figure out how to get the microscope working. There we go. See if this shows up. Yep, there it is. Tools are kind of dirty, guys. Probably need to clean them. Probably going to be able to see them a lot better than I've been able to see them on this microscope. So, first thing that we see is that it's going to be using an Atmega 328P. So I'm probably going to go ahead and put that on first. and then work on the resistors, and then there's one LED that goes on right there. So here's the at Mega. Spin that around. There we go, line it up. That's pretty good right there. So usually the trick to this is to just tack one corner down, and then you can get the rest of the corners to go and connect down. So I'm going to put a little bit of flux on here. My soldering iron ready. Realign this chip. It's actually not bad right there. Make sure the fumes don't go too much out of the... Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I just want to hold this down a little bit. I think it's a little easier to do it with my finger. And just want to tack one of these pins. Just barely tack it. There we go. That should hold it. So now I'll be able to go to the opposite corner. And even though there's a little bit of extra flux on there, or a little bit of extra solder, it's fine. We're going to clean that up in just a second. So all I want to do is kind of really get some good amount of flux on the rest of those pins. And then just kind of drag it across to the rest of the pins. So A little bit more solder there. There we go. Even though I got a bridge here, you just kind of keep dragging it and it'll take the bridge out. I can kind of use the sponge to get the excess and kind of clean the tip and get the excess off. I just kind of, if I have a little bit on here, I'll go in here and just clean the tip off real good. And then that kind of helps to get some of that excess off of there. Making sure I get a good connection. See, there's solder up in there. See how it's up in there? In between those legs, we've got to get that out of there. We're going to drag it down. So, clean off the excess. Oh, you guys can't even see it. It's in between these legs. See it? Trying to get it out of there. What we can also do, if there's too much, is to take some of this solder wick and just lay it right along the edge here. And it will soak some of it up. There's some solder right there. It's trying to stick together. There we go. I got it out. I want to make sure you're not bridging anything. See, there's a bridge right there. I'll pull it down. There we go. At this point, everything looks pretty good. It looks like a mess, but it actually looks pretty good because there's no bridging and everything is actually soldered. Hard for you guys to see. Here we go. I think the camera keeps adjusting the white balance. I can't get it very bright for the camera for some reason. Anyway, so we can do a kind of a final inspection on this. Just spray a little bit of rubbing alcohol on it. This is higher concentration and just home stuff. It's 99%, which is kind of hard to find right now. I need to be careful with the amount that I use because it's so difficult. But it looks like there's a little bit of a glob down there on that bottom pin. See it? Right there. I want to get rid of that one. But everything else looks good. Looks like it's still a little bit dirty, but it's soldered in there pretty good. So I'm just gonna kind of try to clean that up a little. Took the mask off. Yeah, I took the mask off. That's weird. Yeah, well, guess it's okay. Yeah, it looks good. In the right position. It's pin 1's where pin 1's supposed to be. Okay, let's do this capacitor. Seems to be, it would be pretty easy to do. So, let me see here. It shows that it is a 0.1 microfarad capacitor. It's in an 0603 package, so it's really small. I'm used to doing the little bit larger ones, but it'll be okay. I think I'll be able to handle it. Okay. Same thing. In fact, I'm going to get a little bit of tape to try to hold everything still. Stuff's not moving around on me. So I'm just going to take the corner of the board down just to make sure nothing moves. And put a little bit of flux on it. There we go. So I've seen how some people like to do these. I like to just do the one side at a time and just spin the board around. I've seen some people like do one side and then just kind of drop it or whatever. I don't know. It's pretty good. A little hair on it. Amazing what you can see. This size. I like to spin the board around like this. Just tack the other side. It goes like that. Okay. So, see, it does look kind of dirty right now. So just put a little spritz on there. A little cleanup. Sometimes I have to use tweezers and just gently scratch it. So I'll take like a little bit on there, kind of gently. I'm not trying to take the solder mask off, just kind of barely scratch it, kind of get it in there. Man, this mask is really sensitive, actually. Seems like coming off real easy. See that? I mean, it's fine, but it seems to be real sensitive to everything. To clean it up, didn't look real good. Okay, well, it's on there. So we have two resistors here to do. Resistor 2 and resistor 1. Adjust the brightness a little bit. Here's the auto white balance. It's a little easier to see. Okay, let's take a look. What do we have left to do? Oh. So these are 1 kilo ohm resistors. All right, we're going to do the same procedure. Let me just knock this sucker off. There we go. That we did for capacitor. Hold on, I'm going to sneeze. Worst time for that to happen. Okay. So, I'm going to apply a little bit of flux. Position this resistor. Okay. Flip them around. Do the other side. those are done. I'll clean those up next in just a minute. Okay, so there's another resistor that needs to go on, and it is a 330 ohm resistor. I think this one is just for the LED. Okay, so I'm just going to dab a little bit of flux on there. A lot of it, apparently. Okay. Alright, same situation. Align the part. There we go. Flip it around. Make a huge mess everywhere. I should scoot it down some. There we go. Better. Alright. And then need to do the capacitor. So I ordered a couple of the, or not the capacitors, the LED. I ordered a couple of them. I don't know. I think they're supposed to be blue or something. I don't know. So I didn't want to just order one in case I mess something up. Because I figure it costs me more for shipping than anything. So I would just go ahead and order two of them so I'll have an extra. Get this packaging to work with me here. There we go. Alright. Still have the extra LED. Alright, here we go. Let's take a look here. Okay. I have no idea which direction, so it's got a marking on it. I don't know if the marking is for the anode or the cathode. So I guess I could just guess and fix it later. Let me take a look here. Not till. It's got a marking on it. Is that the positive or the negative side? Okay, so it's the cathode side, which is the negative side. Okay. So I need to flip this around this way. Like so. All right. Let me get this thing stuck down. I need to get something to hold these things better. It is not sticking down real well. Okay, here we go. One side. Probably doing a terrible job. Sorry, this is my first time ever to stream. So nobody can see anything. It's always out of view. Sorry. I'll do a better job in the future. Just getting this down. I don't even have to work the OBS properly. Just want to make sure that the solder is flowing good and sticking down. You see how bubbly that is right there? I don't like that. Come in here and try to wipe some of that away so it looks a little better. Yeah, that's better. Okay, all of those components are down. The hair right there. Probably. Okay. So I think that's it for the surface mount components. Now I just have to do the connector, the controller connectors. So let me go ahead and clean this board up a little bit. Zoom out a little. There we go. So I'm going to clean all this mess up. So I just take some isopropyl alcohol. Clean all this up. A little dirty. Okay. So that's that. Now I just gotta put these connectors on. So I guess I'll do this one first. These are pretty easy to do because there's not much to them. All you gotta do, I usually take just a little strand in my hand and just solder them in. So there's a little bit of flux in the solder already, so it flows pretty easy, but I'm going to go back over it once I get the holes kind of filled in a little bit with a little bit of flux, and then I can clean all of it off. Okay, so now the holes are kind of filled in. So then I usually kind of drip a little bit here, just to make sure that everything's flowing good. It's where it needs to go. So these need to have kind of look like little mountain tops here. to see it. Need to look kind of like little mountaintops with peaks on them. So this, I think, could probably do a little more. Yep, that looks good to me. Okay, so we need to do the same thing to the other connector on the other side. Right here, trying to get it to slot in. It's a little bit tricky. That's why I have these little glasses here, because I can't see. Looks pretty good. Let's see if we can see it. See how the pull it down here. See how the pins are just barely sticking in the holes there. I think what I'm going to do is try to tack it from this side first, and then flip it around the other side and tack it over there. So start right here. You hold it down, it doesn't move. There you go. Also keeps me from moving it out of frame. Figure out how to do this properly. People can see. That's like it. I'm burning the paper. Oops. Need a little more solder. There we go. Okay, that side is done. Try to flip it over to the back side here. This will be a little easier on me. Now that I've got all this here, should be able to So I'll put a little bit of flux on there. Everything will kind of flow. Too much going on there. That's okay, actually. This one on the end looks really good, I think. It doesn't look bad, it just looks really dirty. Let's see if you can see it. There we go. Looks dirty. It's all the flux. Alright, let me try to clean it all up, see what it looks like. Still dirty. Try to clean it up a little more. Yeah. We get in here. Looks better, a little more. Yeah, let's see. Almost. Just a little bit like over there, I think. Kind of dirty still. See any more? All the flux is cleaned off. It's a little wet still. Cleaned off on the bottom. So then I've got this little cap that goes on the top of the Saturn port here. So it says Sega Saturn on it. I'll go ahead and screw that in to hold it in place. Clean up my little work area. Okay. That's all for the camera. The rest of it will just be the main camera here. So I don't have the my Neo Geo up and running right now, so I won't be able to test this. But once I get it tested, I'll make a or the Neo Geo up. I'll get it tested and make another video, show how it works and all of that. But I still am going to go ahead and program this so that it's ready to be used whenever I can actually test it. So, got stuff everywhere. Alright, so I have a programmer that I got from China a few months back, and I'm going to go ahead and put these on real quick. There's just some M2 or 2mm metric washers that I bought online a while back, and then I have some 5mm M2 screws. They're just real tiny screws to secure this on here. I'm going to go ahead and work on doing that real quick. Now, you guys can't see anything, but give me just a second and we'll be able to show you. It's just a little cap cover to kind of secure the port. Make sure that it doesn't come loose, when you're plugging or unplugging the controller. Make sure everything's snug and whatnot. So kind of holds it down. So you can plug the controller in. It can take that force, be pushing it on there like that. Just kind of helps with doing that. So the other thing I'll do is just to make sure everything lasts a while, I'll put a little bit of deoxit in there, just kind of a little bit of a spray. That way, kind of cleans it, the little port. Leaves a little bit of antioxidant stuff in there, which is good. Plug it and unplug it a couple times. Yeah, it's good. Kind of lubricates it too, makes it easier to unplug it, plug it back in. Okay, so there is the adapter. Put it together. Now, just have to program it. So on the website, here, it shows that you can, I think it's on page 7, that you can take the INO file off of their website and then compile it to a hex file using Arduino software, and then upload it. Hey.
You still on top?
Yeah.
Did you see my messages?
Yeah, but it's lagging. I won't be able to test this until I get the Neo Geo working.
Why don't you fix the Neo Geo?
I have to wait for I want to get that adapter. It hasn't shipped yet, so I have to wait till the end of the month. So I'm not sure exactly what to do, but try to figure it out. So I'm going to go to Arduino's website and download their software. Oh, I think I downloaded it already. Check that out real quick. Yeah, it's right here. So I'll install this, then figure out how to compile it for use with this programmer that I built a while back. So I built this particular programmer, and you're supposed to be able to plug it in here like this, and then plug in this programmer right here, and program it. So I haven't quite figured out. This is ground, so I guess it goes this way. like that. And then we're going to program it using this right here. So I've got to figure out how to compile the code first. And so the Arduino software is installed. Okay, so got to download it to the desktop, the INO file off this website. So if you go here, it tells you on the main page, if you go to the GitHub link to download the code, and it's an INO file. So I've got that downloaded, this right here. I've got this downloaded. So should be able to open this. Create this folder. Yeah, that's fine. All right. So then I have to compile it. Let me see. I have to choose a different board, I think, because it says, what's this? It says in here on page 7, you have to do an Atmega 328p. So, see if I can find that. Hmm. Okay, so this one's already installed. Let's see. Mega 328p Arduino IDE. Arduino or okay. Boards manager. Okay, let's just do it. I don't know. sure what to do here. Let's see. Compile 8P. So it's just on an Uno, I guess. Uno. Yeah. So then I can probably just select. I'm an idiot. So I just probably need to select Arduino Uno. And then I think I just export. So I would do verify, compile, and then export. And export. Where's the export compiled binary? Where does it put it? Oh, it's right here. Okay. So I think I just need the one that says standard, right? Okay. Well, we'll figure it out. So should just be able to plug this in. See if it blows up on me. Okay, didn't blow up yet. That's good. And let me see where this folder is. Oh, it's on the desktop. Okay. Oop. All right, so my program that I use to program with this is this one right here. Chip is a 328p. Settings. It says it can't find the programmer. Hmm. It's a little dirty. Hmm. How do I do this? Says no supported programmer found. What does that mean? Well, I can't figure it out. I must be doing something wrong on the programming. I'll figure it out later. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream because I'm just sitting here doing nothing, trying to figure this thing out. So I'll go ahead and stop this and probably edit the last 20 minutes out of the video. Anyway, I'll do another one another day. Thank you.